Have you ever need to elevate a command in Linux from a regular account? If so, this video will show you how to leverage sudo rights to properly allow an account to perform a privileged operation. In this example, I am using Ubuntu, but this will work in most Linux operating systems. So what is sudo? It is a program that allows accounts to run with the same privileges as a different account. By default, it will attempt to run commands as a superuser, which is normally the root account. So how do we do this? First, we will need to open a terminal. After having logged on using an unprivileged account, let's see if we can view the root account's home directory. As expected, we weren't able to view the directory because our unprivileged account does not have the necessary rights to do so. To grant those rights, we will have to change to an account that can modify the sudo group. In some flavors of Linux, the sudo group may go by a different name, sometimes as wheel, which can be more common in older versions of Linux. By using the su command, which stands for substitute user, I will log in as a privileged account. So let's add our unprivileged account to the sudo group. We can do this by using the user mod command with the small a and uppercase G options. The small a indicates that we want to append to the group we specify, and the uppercase G means that we want to modify a group membership. The two arguments that we pass are first the group to add the account to, and finally the account itself. After having modified the sudo group membership, let's exit our privileged account session, dropping back into our unprivileged account. Now, let's attempt to view the root account's home directory using sudo. But wait, we are still unable to run the sudo command. The reason is that the group change has not been reflected in our current session. One way to effect this change is to run the command new group sudo. This changes the effective group of the account to the given one, which in this case is sudo. Now, as you can see, after a password prompt, we are able to run a privileged command. One thing you may have noticed is that when we use sudo, we were prompted for a password. What if we did not want this to happen and just to elevate the command? The options for sudo are specified in the /etc/sudoers file. This file, though, can be dangerous to edit without validation. That is why the command vi sudo is built in to allow editing, but making sure that changes will not completely break sudo upon saving. This does still allow for misconfigurations, but not incorrect syntax to be saved. So how do we allow our account to elevate without prompting for a password? One reason we may want to do this is for service type accounts that should not ask for a password when running, say, a scheduled task. Open an elevated vi sudo. This program is based upon the vi editor, which does use some unique commands for editing. Please note that you can change the editor, but in this example, we are using the default. Arrow down until we find a spot above the #included_dir text. Type O to insert a new line below and insert the line to read as shown on the screen. You may wonder what the syntax is describing what we just entered. Breaking it down, we are saying non-sudo user on any host may run commands as any user without a password. The first all refers to hosts, the second to target users, and the last to allowed commands. Finally, hit escape and type :x to save and exit. If we did everything right, it will save with no errors. Now, let's attempt to view the root account's home directory. You can see now that it works without prompting for a password. So what did we learn? How to add rights to an unprivileged account to use sudo, and how to modify the sudo configuration to not prompt for a password upon elevation. Thank you for watching.